This video describes the installation of the pneumatic Cleanfix reversible fans. Installation of the pneumatic reversible fan. A vibration damper is essential when installing the Cleanfix reversible fans directly on the crankshaft or when driven by a spur gear. Only operate the reversing feature of Cleanfix reversible fans within the machine manufacturer's recommended operating temperature range in order to avoid engine overheating. Observe all applicable safety regulations while working on, around, or under a machine. Required tools: magnetic or clamp type dial gauge, torque wrench, electric drill, metric step drill, standard hand tools, grease. Cleanfix kit contents: Cleanfix pneumatic fan, adapter flange, according to the application, either a compressor, an e-box, or a valve unit, button, fuse, compressor mounting plate, nuts, bolts, and clamps. Mounting guidelines: removal of the original manufacturer's fan, turn off engine and allow to cool, retain ignition key, and disconnect battery from the machine. Remove the original manufacturer's fan. Make sure that the radiator grill is clean before starting installation. Installation of the Cleanfix fan. Clean the fan drive mounting surface so that excessive axial and radial runout is minimized. Loosen any belts that drive the fan pulley. This will allow for a more accurate runout measurement. Secure the flange with suitable, or the supplied, screws to the fan drive. Follow the standard torque chart supplied by the machine manufacturer. On a threaded flange, apply a small amount of glue or Loctite to the threads. If there is insufficient room to insert the fan into the shroud after the flange is installed, you may need to insert the fan first. The axial and radial runout must be checked with a dial gauge. The radial and axial run must not exceed 0.1 millimeters. If necessary, rotate the flange to the next hole and measure again. For easier attachment of the fan air tube to the pneumatic hose, apply a thin layer of grease to the fan air tube to push the pneumatic hose. Slide the metal hose clamp onto the end of the hose. Slide the pneumatic hose up past the mark on the air intake tube on the fan. Position the hose clamp ears as shown in the picture. Secure the hose by crimping the ears of the hose clamp with pliers. The hose clamp must be parallel to the fan as pictured. If the fan air tube gets bent downwards toward the blades during the installation of the hose, the tube can be bent by hand so that the blades will not hit the hose. Drill a 16 mm or 5 by 8 inch hole in the shroud as close as possible to the radiator. Install the strain relief fitting included in the installation kit. The preferred location where the air hose goes through the shroud is the bottom half of the shroud. Guide the air hose from the inside of the shroud through the strain relief fitting. Carefully guide the Cleanfix fan into the shroud. Make sure that the fan does not damage the radiator and coolers. Attach the fan with the locking screws on the flange. Torque values for the locking screws. Optimum installation position for suction fans. During installation, verify that 1/3 of the blade profile is located outside of the shroud so that the fan can reach its maximum air capacity. The fan must be able to move freely within the shroud, even with turned blades. Optimum installation position for blowing fans. During installation, verify that 2/3 of the blade profile is located outside of the shroud so that the fan can reach its maximum air capacity. The fan must be able to move freely within the shroud, even with turned blades. Fans with flex tips, flexible blade tips, touch the shroud very lightly and thus ensure the best possible air capacity. If they touch too much and the flex tips bend, they need to be trimmed as necessary. If the flex tips touch the shroud only on one side, the shroud may have to be recentered. The sheet metal ring, which may be included, depending on the design of the machine, must be mounted on the vehicle around the fan shroud to direct the airflow. Verify when installing that 1/3 in case of a suction fan, respectively 2/3 in case of a blowing fan, of the blade profile is located outside of the sheet metal ring so that the fan can reach its maximum air capacity. The fan must be able to move freely within the sheet metal ring, even with turned blades. The ring must be adequately secured to the fan shroud to ensure it does not interfere with the fan. Pull the pneumatic hose through the strain relief fitting so that it does not catch on the blades. Secure the hose with the compression nut of the strain relief fitting. The air intake assembly on the fan must not come under tension from the hose. For large diameter fans of 900+ millimeters, support the air hose halfway between the air tube and the strain relief. Allow for a slight rotation on the air intake, approximately 50 millimeters. Supply compressed air to the air hose until the blades turn to their cross position as shown in the picture. Use a pair of locking pliers or bend the hose to pinch block the airflow. This will trap the air in the system. Remove the compressed air supply. Rotate the fan by hand, observing that the blades do not contact any objects. Make adjustments as needed. Verify that any objects that are loose are secured to prevent being pulled into the fan during operation. Secure any loose objects with plastic ties. Remove the locking pliers or release the air hose and connect it to the machine's air supply system. Electric assembly instructions. For vehicles with a compressed air system using the Cleanfix valve system, or with a mini-timer or multi-timer, connect the red cable of the Cleanfix compressor to a keyed power supply using the fuse included in the kit, and attach the black cable to a convenient point on the vehicle chassis for ground. Attach the gray cable to one contact of the button. The other button contact should be grounded to the vehicle chassis for ground. The pneumatic T-piece should be attached to the hose included in the kit and spliced into the vehicle's existing compressed air holes. Avoid installing the control in wet, dusty, and high vibration areas. Also avoid areas with temperatures greater than 70 degrees Celsius. For detailed information, refer to the Cleanfix compressor, e-box, valve unit assembly instructions. Cleanfix compressor unit with mini-timer or multi-timer. Connect the red cable of the Cleanfix compressor to a keyed power supply using the fuse included in the kit, and attach the black cable to a convenient point on the vehicle chassis for ground. Attach the gray cable to one contact of the button. The other button contact should be connected to the vehicle chassis for ground. Avoid installing the control in wet, dusty, and high vibration areas. Also avoid areas with temperatures greater than 70 degrees Celsius. For detailed information, refer to the Cleanfix compressor, e-box, valve unit assembly instructions. Cleanfix e-box. Connect the red cable of the Cleanfix compressor to a keyed power supply using the fuse included in the kit, and attach the black cable to a convenient point on the vehicle chassis for ground. Attach the gray cable to one contact of the button. The other button contact should be connected to the vehicle chassis for ground. Avoid installing the control in wet, dusty, and high vibration areas. Also avoid areas with temperatures greater than 70 degrees Celsius. For detailed information, refer to the Cleanfix compressor, e-box, valve unit assembly instructions.